All right. Thanks for tuning in. Mail Modeler here. Pretty excited about this. This box came when I was out on vacation. You know you're a nerd when you're on vacation and all you're thinking about is all the T-Rex parts you just ordered. This will be my first time working with 3D printed. Worked with metal tracks before, obviously plastic and things, but you know, made my own toe clamps, or toe cables, whatever, you know, value gear like resin parts, things like that. I've worked with a bunch, but never 3D printed. One of the reasons it is not the cheapest, but there are some pretty amazing looking stuff here. And as you can see, these, or as you can imagine, these all go with a kit either that I already have, with the exception of these three, just like tool clamps, different tow hooks and lifting hooks for some German vehicles. Figured I'd just fool around with those, maybe get a little extra detail here and there, but obviously I have a Comet in my growing stash. So I really went with it. I wanted to try everything that they offered for the Comet. I don't know if that'll be my next build. Obviously not intimidated, but somewhere along those lines. Just with the investment I've made into that kit. I've built the Cromwell before, and it'll be 90% similar, but I figured, hey, why not? I'm very interested to see if this kind of stuff, like the wheels, I don't know how much more detail there's going to be, but we'll take a look at, actually I'll get up now and I'll get the Comet and we can look at the difference between the 3D printed and the real one. All right. But yeah, interested to see like how much different the mantlet is going to be, or, you know, the shield cover, whatever they want to call it. Some of the different guns, things like that, like the gun on the front. Very interested to see kind of what the difference is. Is it that much more detail, right? Are the wheels just going to get kind of covered up with weathering and things like that? Did I spend, you know, $100 on a model that I could have built for $35? I have pretty traditionally, you know, I guess value gear is the big exception. It's pretty cheap. That's been like the one thing that I've spent money extra on. I remember it was an Academy Tiger. It was the first time I ever did Lincoln length tracks, and I just butchered them. So I had to find some nice metal tracks online, which were a pretty penny. I think they were more than the model cost, but it was the only way I could really salvage it and not throw it out the window. So let's look at the different Comet parts here and compare them to what comes in the kit. So we're gonna get a couple different things in here. You can see, I mean, the detail is very good. There's no denying that. Looks like these are going to be the center. So definitely just looking at definitely some nicer detail around maybe the opening, but just looking and comparing, let's see if I can pull this off, to the Comet wheels. Right, so we're going to get a lot of detail there. These are the wheels that are comparable. So they're almost there on the kit. There's definitely, you know, just the see-through hole there, or pass-through, whatever you want to call it. There's definitely a little bit of added detail. I actually haven't looked even yet, but maybe this is more accurate in terms of, you know, smaller like caps in the middle there, although it looks like something goes over that. So maybe we'll have to compare it once I'll take some of these off the sprue at the time and build those up. But I mean, I'm definitely happy with it. We'll just see if it's something I would want to spend money on again. Tracks, I think, are a different story. I have no problem. 90% of the time, I still build the tracks that come in the kit, but I do like the working tracks. They're fun. So again, it looks like the sprocket here is going to have a piece that goes inside. But you can see it's decently, again, it's very close on the kit. I don't know how zoomed in. If I take that away, how zoomed in it'll get, but there are little, you can really see the bolt detail here on all these bolts around it, where on this kit, they're just plain. So again, there's definitely more detail here. On the idler and the sprockets. So that should be pretty good. Definitely happy with that. I think in general, if I maybe was just gonna buy the wheels just from first glance and nothing else, I don't know that I would make the investment, but I think with everything else, I think those little pieces of detail are really going to look good all together. Again, I don't know who's going to be looking at just the wheels in your tank, but if it's kind of combined with everything, that sounds pretty good. I'll box that up nicely later. And here we got some detail parts. All right. Multiple pieces in here. All right, so here we got the gun. Looks pretty standard, except it is hollow. So it could shoot tiny bullets. That's pretty cool. That you will not get on a plastic kit. Some really small parts in here. I'm not going to take everything out of the bag, just because this is what happens when you take it all out of the bag. Now I'm gonna have to Tetris that back in there, but you can see even through here, I mean, there's definitely great detail. But I'm gonna fling some of those pieces across the room with my tweezers for sure. So we'll see how worth it is. This is cool. We got some tracks here now. I'll have to figure out where. Looks like pins are gonna go in those. And then some lights. Oh my God, those grab handles. I'll take this one out. Where'd the grab handles go? Those grab handles are gonna look really, really good. It's just the kind of precision. It's a little bent at the end, that's okay. Kind of precision you can't get out of a plastic kit, and I mean, that's awesome. Just how thin they can get it on all these different things. We'll see how good the gun fits together. I'm interested to see how well it fits with the current plastic. Yeah, the light, the detail on the back of the lights, that's awesome. That's definitely going to look very, very good. I think so far, just looking at the difference, I think the upgrade set, I wouldn't say it's a must. I think every kit is good out of the box. Depends on how you build it and things, but definitely more impressed with that than the wheels. But again, that might just be because I know what I'm going to do to the wheels. And I'm not sure I'm going to be able to see them afterwards. All right, and then we have the cover. This one should be easy to fit back in the box. That's awesome. This is going to test my dry brushing skills, but looks like there's enough depth and everything there that it should make it pretty easy to look good with just a quick dry brush. Those folds are awesome. Let's see if I can find that in the kit. And do a little quick comparison. So this is really evident. I mean, that's fine. I'd build that 10 times out of 10 just as is. I love Tamiya, whatever you want to call it. I say it wrong every time. That's awesome. That's better. That is significant. That's the most impressive. I mean, the detail on the top here, just the canvas all over. It's just, I'll let you look at that for a little bit. Again, Tamiya's done a really nice job with theirs, but you can't match that 3D print. I think that's the item I'm maybe most impressed with. That the lights are big. You can't get that out of a 3D kit, or sorry, out of a plastic kit. I won't bother showing those. We all know what they look like. All right, and then the tracks. Now, I'm excited for these simply because there's no cleanup. For once, I don't have to do much. And from my understanding, so there's going to be a pin, one for each side. So you're going to put it in the left and the right, top and the bottom, whatever you want to call it. And then there are pre-cleaned tracks. And I believe it's like a friction fit. So it's just going to, when you put that pin in there, it's going to pop right in and then it will not fall out. I mean, there's no blemishes on this. That's perfect. This is something that I wish, and hopefully we see down the road, is kits that come with this. I have no problem ordering it aftermarket. It takes a little bit of research. And T-Rex is maybe the most well-known, so there's not a lot of research there, but they don't do every kit, right? They're limited. They have a lot of stuff for German vehicles and a lot of stuff for newer kits. But I would just love to see a world in which, you know, it's not just link and length anymore with like a jig to build them. I like the actual working tracks. I know they're a lot more money, but I built an M4 RC from Tamiya maybe 2 years ago, and they came with incredibly detailed tracks that snap together. There's no glue. There's no pin. They simply just snap together. They're good enough to hold up to RC. So I don't know why they wouldn't be good enough to, you know, use in a plastic model. Still trying to fit these things back in the box. That's going to bug me. All right. So we have other sets of tracks. I will skip those. We do have Panzer III or IV tracks. I have both. I have a Panzer III and IV. So I think the Panzer III is also Tamiya. It's an older kit. I think that comes with rubber bands. So probably going to use them on the Panzer III. And then the Panzer IV is one of the brand new ones from Tamiya. And then Tiger tracks. Sorry, we'll bring those back in here. Now, this is going to be interesting if they don't fit, I know this works. I think it was Border and Tamiya that they work with. I have the new Tacom late production Tiger one, the one that comes with Zimmerit. The tracks just, they looked painful to me. I have a buddy that built it. He said the kit was amazing, except for the tracks. So the last time I built a Tiger, it didn't end well. So I just went ahead and bought some, hoping those work. And if not, I'll have to find a use for them. And then Panzer IV 70. This is tracks and an upgrade set. So I have, so yeah, it's same tracks, and then it comes with different like idler wheel sprockets, things like that. I have the I-70A and the I-70, I think it was V, whatever the new one Tamiya just released is. So not sure which one those are going to go on. I think it's the A is the older kit. I think probably has rubber band tracks. So that is going to go there. Now, I was ready to check out. This was an item I just got lost online looking at it. Oh, those are sweet. I was really excited about this one. This was just a late addition to the cart. You know, had to make it more expensive. But those look pretty good. That's not the part I'm excited about. This is the part I'm excited about. The exhaust. Now that is awesome. I don't know how well the texture, you can hear it. That texture is going to come through on this camera, but that looks awesome. That also, we'll find a way to make it fit on the Tacom. It was one of the things when I opened that kit, I kind of looked at them and was like, yeah, could be better. Again, heard amazing things about that kit. Excited to build it. But I wanted to have a little fun. I don't do this often. It can be an expensive addition to the hobby. But the hobby finds a way to be expensive anyways. So it's cool stuff to buy, new tools you need. So that leaves us with the Kettencraft, which is also Tamiya. Couldn't have guessed. Saw this one. This one was one that I was able to see the Comet and these reviewed online. Some of the other stuff I wasn't able to find. There's just, I don't know if it's not out there. I'm not looking in the right place, but this just looked awesome, and I just kind of had to have it. This is another one of those pieces. It's not the easiest to see in this little protective box, but look at the brake wire, the detail by the light. This is stuff that, I don't know, I hope that plastic models get there at some point, or maybe some of these companies will start 3D printing some of these parts in their own. But there's a ton of detail there. That's going to look awesome on the front of the Kettencraft. That's another one that's in the stash. All right, and then we also got the tracks for the Kettencraft. They make winter tracks that look awesome. It's the whole winterizing kit. I just went standard. Nice sprockets. And the front wheel, this is cool. You can see the little gap for the air hose, or for the, you know what I mean, to refill the tire. That's very cool. And then we have a million tiny tracks. It looks like these, like I was just talking about, are going to snap together. And just like all the tracks T-Rex makes will be workable. This is what I'm talking about. This is all, it can't be that hard for these companies to make that. Even if they end up charging a little more, I mean, make an upgrade option, something. But it's easy to get lost online and spend night after night looking at all this stuff. Building a card on 3 different websites because it's not available on all websites. It makes it very difficult. It's, at least for me, you know, I live in the Cape Cod area. I go to Centerline Hobbies, shout out. Phenomenal store. I've got some tracks and things there, but this stuff isn't widely available in most hobby shops, you know, I've been to. But take a look at these tow hooks. Pretty good detail there. These are the kind of things, I'm not sure. We'll see how much different it makes down the line when we build some kits with them. But yeah, hope you guys at least got a decent idea of some of these products. Again, I know some of them are hard to find. They're expensive, but the tracks, we'll see. Metal tracks are great. They have their flaws too, but they're kind of becoming, at least I haven't found very many. So this is kind of the new thing. So this will be excited. I think probably one of the next builds is going to be the Panzer III or IV, Comet, possibly the Tiger. So we should see some of these in the next build. Thanks for tuning in.